Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nintendo Man of God, aka Lord Fluffy, and welcome back to the next episode of Metroid Prime 2. You might be wondering, why didn't I start at the door? Why am I suddenly in the middle of the cutscene where we fight the Quadraxis? Well, I fucked up. First things first, the second half of that recording got deleted somehow. Probably my fault thinking I had edited both parts. Don't quite remember, but either way, I re-recorded it. And then I was like, oh, I can just come in here. And then I forgot to record coming into the door. So, you know, we're here. But anyway, here we are with Quadraxis. Now, Quadraxis is probably one of my... Think of, like, the whole, like, Prime series in general. Quadraxis is easily one of my most favorite bosses. He's one of the more longer ones, but I don't mind that because he has several different stages. And it's pretty tedious. Well, not tedious, but it's pretty fun to actually take him out. Now, for the first step, what you need to do is you need to destroy these four little things at the bottom of each of his feet. Sort of like how you do at the bottom of the quad MBs and whatnot, but you do it for all four of his legs. Now, once you do that, the knee braces of sorts on his legs, obviously, will light up. However, you can only hit them when they are blue, and you can only do damage to them when they are blue. You're not going to want to use your light beam ammo. I made a mistake here of trying to use it. It does count as a dark creature because it was dark infested, so light beam ammo will be super effective, but you would want to use your super missiles here over your light beam ammo because you want to use your light beam ammo for something later on in the fight. So this part takes a little bit of time, especially since it always seems like he takes the actual flashing blue one and always moves it away from you. It gets pretty hard to hit it sometimes. He can only do shockwaves when his little feet things are actually up. When his feet light flashing thingamajigs. I don't know. I call them antenna. His feet antenna. When he has his feet antenna, whenever he moves or stomps, it does cause a shockwave, but otherwise it doesn't cause a shockwave without them. So basically, try and take down one of the knee braces and whatnot. You're gonna have to switch targets every now and then because of the fact that it is a constantly switching target, and the fact that his legs are always moving means the lock-on might fuck up sometimes. You might hit the leg, or the thing will turn not blue by the time you're actually hitting him, and it gets frustrating, and you just want to snake up stop, like right there, blah, blah, blah. And this boss does get a little frustrating. I do like the fight. I really do like the fight, but it can get frustrating when things don't go your way. And it's another one of those cases like when you're with the Boost Ball Guardian, where you're just inconsistent dark world with any like light, without any light areas. So yeah. So once you take down the first one, his feet antenna will come back. So you need to take them all out again, and you repeat this until all four of his feet, or all four of his knee braces are down. And then he will move on to the second stage. There are two ways you can harm these things. You can either use the boost ball like I'm doing now, or you could use bombs, which also work as well. The boost ball is something I like to do. I drop 3. What I would think is the optimal strategy is to drop 3 of them, back up a bit, and then use the boost ball, and that should blow it up instantly. So long as he doesn't move his feet, you should be fine in that regard. Quadraxis also has a lock-on move, as you might have noticed a little bit earlier, wherein he does that thing where he basically locks onto you and fires a beam at you, like right now. It's very difficult to avoid if you're standing still, so basically the best option is, or not standing still, but in your non-morph ball form, so basically the best option is when he does lock onto you, you basically just wanna go into boost ball, or go into morph ball and use the boost ball. Okay, so now the second one's down, once again he spawns this. Now, he'll probably, once you take down 2 of them, he gains a couple more moves. The first move he gets is a cyclone, similar to the thing the quad MBs do. The difference is, instead of running at you, he basically sits in one place and he draws you into him. This is incredibly difficult to dodge, I find. I have only ever successfully dodged it, I believe, twice, and those were both of the times in this fight. By the way, you do want to pick up these things. Like, it is a must that you have to pick these health drops up. If you don't pick up the health drops, you are probably going to have a really bad time. The health drops do make the fight a little bit much easier. Otherwise, it would be near impossible. And that's pretty much why I'm getting tongue-tied here. But that's probably why the designers themselves put in all these drops, simply because they knew the fight would be a little too hard without it. So right here, he's locking onto me. What I do is I just use the Morph Ball, and I pretty much dodge the lock-on instantly. And here's that Cyclone Leap I was talking about. It's extremely hard to avoid. He'll suck you in, and then once you hit him, you take damage, and then he'll eventually go out. Again, very hard to avoid. The only way I've ever been able to do it, I'll show you later, but that's a prime example of the... thing turning not blue, his knee brace not turning blue, or not flashing blue anymore at the very last second. That kind of thing gets this fight really frustrating. It's unfortunate too, because the fight is fun, like I keep saying, but those little levels of frustration might seem like bad design, but it's really just the algorithms of the thing itself. So I tried this time just walking backwards, but eventually he just cyclones too fast for you to be able to do anything about it. Again, I've only ever been able to dodge it one time. And that one time was, you know, basically kind of luck. And it was 2 times, actually. I think I did it twice in the same fight. You'll see it a little bit. But here, I'm just trying to find the blue thing, and it wasn't blue. I dodged the bullet somehow. And here we go. So basically, the moment he does that, the way I was able to avoid it is to quickly use the boost ball and quickly keep circling around him. I don't know how effective this strategy is going to be or how often you'll be able to pull it off, but I was able to pull it off and avoid the damage points. The Quadraxis fight is a long one. You'll only, at minimum, this fight should take you about, I don't know, 8 minutes. If you get lucky with everything and you're able to destroy his little knee braces quickly. I mean, I'm at 6 minutes and 49 seconds in the video at this point, but if you get lucky, you can get down his first stage in like a couple minutes tops. So, well, not a couple minutes tops, but 5 minutes tops you can get his first stage down. The rest of the stages don't go nearly as long as this one, but you know, get the third knee brace down, and then we can eventually move on and move on and move on and move on and move on. Originally, I had pretty bad commentary in the very first fight with Quadraxis, so this time I'm trying to limit it to not so much. Wow, I actually got hit by it that time. I just never remember that. I'm trying to limit the commentary at this point to more informative and talking about the boss itself rather than trying to be funny at the same time or just commenting on what's the current going-ons. Because I feel that it's a little better for a more, drawn-out fight like this. Because eventually the same things just keep getting said over and over again. Like, come on, stop being such a bitch, and stuff. Whatever. This is post-commentary in case it wasn't obvious. I probably should have pronounced that at the beginning, but whatever. Should have been pretty much obvious. This last knee brace of Quadraxis gave me quite the bit of trouble. Like, no matter what I would do, it's like, oh, hey, it's blue, and then it turns not blue. And then he's like, oh, don't worry. I'll just go into my little... I'll just keep turning it to you, and it turns blue for like half a second, but then his knee drops, and he keeps moving his leg around, and I can't fucking get it. And I'm like, no, senpai, please. But probably the best option is once you just get a... once the leg turns around, at this point, you just gotta work with it. As you can see here, I'm trying to do that thing where I avoid it. I think I actually fuck up here. No, I don't. Okay. I was thinking I might have actually screwed up there. I don't know why it targets the middle there, honestly. You can't really disrupt that to my knowledge, unless like you use a power bomb or something? I don't know. Either way, the fourth knee brace goes down at 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the fight, approximately. So now we move on to the second stage of the Quadraxis fight. In this stage, his leg parts, like quad NBs and the quad BDs or something, whatever. I don't remember the head, and I don't remember what each individual thing is called. I know one of them is called the quad MB. But anyway, Quadraxis' head is disattached. Now the thing is, you have to actually scan both parts here if you want all the logbooks. So, actually there's 3 things in this particular stage that you need to scan. What needs to happen right now is I'm just trying to avoid his little head charge thing, but it didn't work. So, what you need to do now is you need to... What you need to do now is you need to take out the Echo Visor, take out your light beam, which is the fastest way to take this thing down with the least resources. Fire at it 13 times, I believe, and then the signal it's sending to the head will dissipate, and thus his shield will be down. So then, you go back to the Echo Visor. Go back to the Echo Visor, Fluff, past me, okay. And then you fire at this thing 7 times. Okay, I remember that correctly. 7 times, and you repeat that process until all 3 of his antennae are down. Now, he will spawn quad MBs here. Just ignore them. Honestly, it's a waste of your time to even bother fighting them. And so long as you know what you're doing, you should be able to avoid them, no problem. Plus, they despawn once the next stage comes around anyway. So there's no real point for you to really do it. So that's 2 antennae down. The third one will be the last thing we'll do. The shield module will go away, and Quadraxis will enter his final stage. As I said, these next 2 stages are pretty easy. They're not nearly as long as the first 2 stages. At minimum, this fight should take you about 8 minutes. Like I keep saying, if you can do it faster, well, you're freaking amazing, and you are probably the best person at Metroid Prime 2 ever. So, after you do that, his head tape breaks off, and then he's like, I'm gonna go crazy and break up these little things. And as you can see, there's the spider ball tracks. So now, his head module is basically just completely exposed. Ooh. So what you can do is basically just fire a bunch of super missiles at it, stun it, and then the next thing you need to do, besides run around trying to find things, apparently. Yay for leg blocking, I am the smart. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, why am I yelling so much? Anyway, scan the damn thing. Scan the damn thing. Get the 100% for Quadraxis. There you go. Everything is great forever. And then you don't need to equip the Dark Visor or Echo Visor or anything. You just literally need to fire super missiles at it, because it'll just get stunned eventually with enough hits. And when it does get stunned, it'll just go around in a circle, and then what you can do is use those spider ball tracks, as shown right here, get up to the top where the circle is, and wait for it to come around. Then use the boost ball to jump on top of its head. And then go inside this pit. Bum, bum, bum. It's basically a bomb slot where you can blow the shit out of them. Now, I actually screw up here in this next section. See, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to see which direction he starts floating around in a circle, because otherwise you're not gonna, otherwise you're gonna track it improperly. So I think that he's actually gonna go forward here to right over around here. He doesn't. He just straight up does not. In fact, he goes around the other way, and here I'm seeing the whole time thinking, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Come on! And then I realize, oh, he's just all the way over there. So I come over here. But guess what, guys? He unstuns himself at the very last minute. Yay! And then everything turned to shit. The end. But no, it didn't turn to shit. What happened is I just did the same thing I did, and this time figured out which direction he was going, and then it was GG, no re. This final stage, not really hard at all. Just not hard at all. So hey, I see he's coming this direction. Just wait a moment. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And he's dead. That's Quadraxis for you. The hardest part of the fight is probably dealing with the frustration of the first stage, and the rest of the fight is not very hard at all. It is honestly not, but it's still one of my favorite bosses, no matter what, because it doesn't have some sort of like frustrating bullshit to it. It has like the blue thing is frustrating, but it's not bullshit. It's not like Boost Ball Guardian bullshit. It's readable, it doesn't fucking harm you, first things first, and whatever. But anyway, after you defeat Quadraxis, you get your final beam of the game. This is called the Annihilator Beam. Funny story, as a kid, I always called this the Annihilator Beam. Yeah, the Annihilator. Because I didn't think Annihilator was a thing in this game. Why, who would do Annihilator? No. No. Just no, you're fucking stupid, you fuck. You just fuck. You just a fuck. Anyway, now that we've done that, I'm basically just super speeding the rest of this episode. The reason why I'm doing it is literally just me running around and doing nothing. Because, you know, whatever. You'll want to scan those Ink Storm, by the way. Fun fact, you can actually screw attack through those and you will take no damage. This is not the way to go, by the way. Don't go through the blue door. That is just going backwards. That is being stupid. You should not be stupid. Being stupid is bad. Do not be stupid. Anyway. Yeah, as usual, we come around through here to go and get the energy, and then what we do is we go back to the light world and we give the energy back, because that's what you do. So we're just super speeding this whole part. This is probably the best time to answer the question of which temple do I think is the best. And, well, I do believe that while the Aegon Waste is simply the most well-designed of the three, I believe, even through the frustrations of the Inghive or Sanctuary Fortress, I still prefer it simply because it's more techy and, you know, it just holds a better boss. Doesn't have bullshit. Also, at this point, you can just kind of fucking do shit. Anyway, the thing is, I was thinking, oh, I need to go back to the light world to give back the, give that thing and stuff. But yeah, just screw attack through the Ing stuff. What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to get, well, I'll tell you later in terms of there's something you're supposed to get a little later on in the game that is supposed to make you immune to the Ing Storm. You can just screw attack right through it and take no damage because the screw attack does the exact same thing and makes you perfectly invulnerable. So, you gotta come through here. Now, there is a little puzzle around here. Now, there's echo puzzles. I figured out how to kill these guys. You just gotta use the Seeker Missiles. Seeker Missiles, OP, yo! Anyway, there's a little sound puzzle here. You've got to use the Annihilator Beam, which has some sort of echo vibration to it. Use your Echo Visor and figure out which one you're supposed to fire at. Now, the thing is, this particular one will give you... Oh, hey, missile expansion. Yeah. There's several of these around the Sanctuary Fortress. I think there's one outside of the Sanctuary Fortress. I'm not sure of that. Someone that would need to confirm with me on that, but I digress. We're going to return the light to the Light Temple and stuff, because that's what everyone should do forever. It is the nice thing to do. You know why? Because being nice is something everyone should do. Being an asshole is stupid. You have differing opinions? Oh, don't worry about it. Your differing opinions are fine, so long as they're not stupid. There's this perpetual state of just argument around the world at some point. Stupid people are stupid, but then there's the people who believe other people are stupid even though what they're saying is stupid. But then again, isn't stupid subjective in some cases? Because a stupid opinion is a stupid opinion to somebody, but it could be a smart opinion to somebody else. It's a lot of BS and double standards and stupid bullshit. That's not so much double standards. I mean, a double standard is me not being able to say the N-word and a black person being able to say it, and if I say it, I get my head beat in, but if his say it, it's just normal. What the fuck? Just what the fuck? I don't know. Double standards are really stupid. It's like, oh, a woman goes into a bathroom? Oh, it's just a mistake. A woman goes into a men's bathroom? Oh, it was a mistake. Trust me. Even if it wasn't a mistake, it was a mistake. Blah, blah, blah. Man accidentally does that. He's a pervert forever. What the fuck? Double standards. I don't need to get into that discussion. I'm just rambling on at this point while I get to the next part, which is, hey, look, guys, I found another one of these echo puzzles. So basically, I gotta figure out the echo puzzle. The echo puzzle is the best of the echo puzzles. Don't you worry about it. I am the best. Anyway, this opens up a Morph Ball bomb slot, which you just use to fire in there, and there is a Power Bomb expansion. That is number... I think there's now... Yeah, I have 4 now. I've only found 2 of them. But yeah, you do that, you jump up here, and it's like, oh, hey, I broke the glass. That's cool. Anyway, that will about do it for this episode of Metroid Prime 2. Sorry for the wait and blah, 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 but thank you guys for watching. And in the next episode, I will return to the Great Temple. Bye-bye!